Okay, in this project, I'm going to create a library apps. So in here, we have a several user level, like admin. Admin can see all the user history, give the books and others. And the staff, you can see all user except admin. And user can only his history, but not the others. Okay, this is generally for reason why we're not using Vuex. In here, we're going to use Django and also the others framework like React, Angular, and Vue. And I will talk about the Vue. Vuex is just for Vue 2, right? It can be applied in Vue 3, but I have experienced that state is not updated in Vue 3. That's kind of yeah, it's kind of catastrophic. And the default is not modular, but you can also add the module in there. For the Pinia, is recommended for Vue 3, have no problem with the Vue 3, and default is modular. So we're going to use a Pinia in here. Okay, what do you know? What do you need to know before you start in the project? First is the basic of the Python, Django, and how the REST API works. Second is concept of database. You can use SQLite or PSQL, and also best of scripting. Also, you have to know concept of a Django environment and the basic scripting again. This is double, I'm sorry. And basic JavaScript and TypeScript. TypeScript is just JavaScript with type. And basic of Angular, Signal, and XJS. And the basic of React, Tailwind, in Zastart. I don't use a context API and Redux. And the last one is a basic of Vue3, Pinia, Vue3, and Tailwind. Yeah, mostly standard for this one. Okay, for installing backend, first you have to download Python 3.10, 10.5, right? But you can use others than that. And also, after you download it, you can just use a Python, make a VirtuanEnv in here. So install VirtuanEnv. You can see Python VirtuanEnv. It's using Python 3.10 because 3.10 is my default. And after it created, you can activate that. Okay, and you can activate the VirtuanEnv by script activate. I'm using Windows, but in the Linux you can do the same but without script. And I'm going to install Django in here. Okay, after that I'm going to go to the Django project and I'm going to say Python manage on server. Okay, and we can see that it's running in 800 and you have a migration. You can apply migration later, but make sure that everything is working. Okay, everything is working. Seems there's no problem in here. Okay, the next step is you have to, what do you call it? You have to make some kind of standard. It's for the requirement.txt to make sure that everything the version of your package has to be locked or not. If you forgot this, one of the package can break the entire apps, and I don't want that to happen. In here I'm going to install Django REST framework in here. So I'm going to say Python, sorry for this, manage and migrate first. Okay, the migration is run, and then I'm going to say pip install recursive for requirement, and it will install all the dependencies that we put in here. Don't forget, after you install it, you have to, okay, let me check first. Okay, everything is fine. Yeah, you have to install this. I am afraid that I forgot that I have to install it in the setting. Make sure that your application knows that you are using REST framework, and then after that just copy this one to make sure that yeah, in here you understand what we're doing, and pad API out, and you can have include in there, and copy this one for the REST framework. Don't forget to copy this one. Make sure that your user is no. Okay, now we have to create a Cecreate API for the authentication. First one, you want to create the folder API in here, and also you have to make a URL in here. And the other one is going to be Serializer and the views. Okay, and you can copy from the REST framework. This is the default, so you know how to use it. And just change this one, right? Copy and create a user in here, user views, and copy this one. And you're going to change this one, just copy and remove that things that you don't use. And the other one, you're going to make a serializer in here, and you're going to copy this one, right? Copy this one, okay, and just copy this, put it in here, and copy this one. And you need serializer as well. So okay, just copy this one, remove the one that okay, just copy this one, remove the one that you don't use, and the other one is just say that you have serializer and import using user serializer. Okay, everything is going to be okay, and just remove this one because I don't use it. And yeah, this is the boilerplate, right? This is all that you have if you want to use REST API. This is just for beginning. I just show you how to create this one. So after this, we create complex things. You can still understand what's going on. Okay, and just copy this one. Okay, and I say path is going to be API, and I'm going to include, right? Include the API dash URLs. Okay, so I'm going to copy all the URL in here. Don't forget to add init.py to make sure that it can be indexed. The directory is been indexed by index.py. It's like identifier in here. Okay, and I'm going to say app is going to be API, and just copy this one and going to say install apps is install app plus apps. Okay, and just run server, make sure it's okay, and we're going to test this one. See, you can see that your URL user is working. Now you need to install Thunder client in here. So you have to install Thunder client. It's just some kind of Postman. If you have a Postman, you can use a Postman there. It's just same. And then after this, you need to specify all your all your dependency to make sure that the application is not break in the future, because one update in dependency can break your entire apps. Make sure that it doesn't work that way. And let's copy this one. I'm going to use a simple JWT for here, and I'm going to say 48, and I'm going to install cores because we have a local host in here. So to access for the front end to access this, you need to have a course to make sure that it doesn't block the request. Okay, and then after this, you can say pip install a recursive requirement. Okay, all is done, and install the SAR, and I just copy this all in here, and dot simple JWT on token. Okay, now I'm going to recreate the API URL because we have to install the register in here. So the simple JWT view unit, and we're going to import a token in here, obtain, and also token obtain pair view, and also token refresh view. Okay, in here I'm going to say router is router dot default. So where is it? Default router. There's no autocomplete in here, so I have to make sure that it doesn't typo. And I'm going to have a register in here. I'm going to say user. Okay, and user view set, and I'm going to go to the user. I'm going to recreate this. I'm sorry for that, because what do you call it? Yeah, you can say that it's good practice, right? Because the first one we don't use query set, and here we're going to use a query set for class, and going to say permissions class is going to be permission dot is authentication, because we asking for the list of user. And in the first one we create a user view set is different behavior, it just to see himself, but in here we can see the others. And I'm going to say generic retrieve. This is for getting a user, not only the user, but you can ask the other, I mean all the user in here. You just need to have what do you call it, lookup field, and I'm going to make a PK or primary key. So in here in Serializer, I'm going to say that Django contrib out model import user and group. Okay, and from the rest framework we're going to have import Serializer, and I'm going to say class meta in here, and the model is user. Okay, and the other one is field is going to be, I'm sorry, a URL, if you need a URL for this, username, and the other one is email, and is staff. You can add is super admin if you want to, but it doesn't necessary in here. And after this you're going to say in the .url you have to create a URL pattern for this one, and you're going to say the path is including auto URL. This is for the main path, and the register. Going to create a register in here. I don't think we have that one. Just create a serializer register in here, and also create a register in the view for API. And we're going to say that class register. Okay, in here I'm going to say I'm just creating for pass in here, and just to make sure that it can be included. Okay, and name is going to be register, right? And the other one is going to be, we need 3 in here, login and the refresh. I'm going to copy this one, token obtain player and token refresh view. I'm going to say this token refresh, and the other one is going to be token obtain, or you can say the login. That's fine, it's up to you to make, yeah, it's just a name. The next one is going to be, I'm going to make sure that the serializer for the register, I'm just going to say pass in here, but I'm going to say that it includes a REST framework for generics, and you need to call it permission in here. I'm going to say allow any, because everybody can register it. It doesn't make sense if you go to the register and you have to log in, right? And import register serializer. Okay, and the permission is going to be allow any. Don't forget comma in there, and then I'm going to say it's going to be generic. Okay, and Cecreate API view. Okay, for API is all the what is it, uppercase, and the register. Okay, in the register serializer, we need to create what you call it from the REST framework. Just don't forget to import serializer in here. Serializer, and you're going to have Django config, Django contrib for out, model import the user. So to make sure that the only one can what do you call it? Yeah, this is the user from the embedded Django, and you're going to have a register validator because you need to register account in here. I have to take a unique validator in here, and also Django.contrib and out and password validation import. So import validate password, and in here I'm going to say email. Okay, don't forget to add a serializer model serializer in here, and I'm going to say serializer is email field. Okay, is required. Okay, and it's going to be validators. It's going to be unique validators. Make sure that the user is not the email is not, how they call it, duplicate. And I'm going to say the query set is from the user object, and we're going to have a password in here and serializer char field. Okay, and I'm going to say write only true and require true, and validate password validators is going to be validate password. Okay, this is the copy this one, and you make sure that you have a confirm password. Just make it password 2, and I'm going to say class meta, and the model is user, and the field is username, and also what is it? Oh, okay, just copy this one and password 2, and the other one is email, and the first name, and also the last name. This is the pretty standard, right? And you're going to say extra keyword is going to be the first name and the last name, because you didn't, what do you call it, you didn't include it in the form, right? So you just make sure that you have this one required to. Okay, and then in here I'm going to say validate self and attribute. This is for validation. If attribute is password is not same as password 2, if the confirm password is different, you're going to write serializer validate error. Okay, sorry for that. I see that I forgot to remove the if. Validation error is going to be password, and password field didn't match, right? It has to be matched to make sure that you know what you're doing. Okay, this is a problem for 1 semicolon. I just copy this one. Maybe I'll just put it in the double semicolon for this one, right? So going to be string after this, and return the attribute. Okay, and you're going to say after this validate, you create validation data. You can create a record in here, and you're going to say that user is going to be user object create, and username is going to be validate username, validate data username, and then I'm going to say that copy this one 4 times. It's going to be email, it's going to be email, it's going to be first name, it's going to be last name, and the last one is going to be set password, because you cannot create a password inside there. And validate going to be save password, and user save. This is, and return just return user after you create it. And you're going to add a drf eng. This is for the swagger. Just copy this one, add API in here, just copy 3 this and I put it in here and remove the read part. Just make sure that you just use the part, and the R is here. Just change this one. You don't need a $sign in the end. This is the old one. Don't use that. Okay. Okay, and then we're going to say from the REST framework. Okay, now we're going to import this, and just make sure that I'm going to move it at the top, and we're going to check whether it's running fine, and we're going to check the Swagger one. Don't need to check from the what is it? Thunder or Postman. You can see in the Swagger everything is, yeah, everything is good. There's a user, and there's login and token pair, and also token refresh. Yeah, everything is fine. Register, we have this one, and the user, I have this one. Yeah, that's good. Okay. The next one, I'm going to check this. I'm going to log in. I already create a user from the Swagger, so you can use the Swagger and you can check the login in here. And for the user, you can have a list of user, and also for the register, yeah, we're going to create the one that I already create to make sure that you cannot double it, or I mean duplicate the code, right? I'm going to say the password, and yeah, just copy this one. Okay, and I'm going to say the password is password 2 and the email. Okay, and the other one is first name, the last one is the last name. Okay, and I'm going to say test and test 1 2 3 4 5, and copy this one and just put this and gmail.com, and also first and the last is last. Okay, if you see, it needs, okay, you see the password I cannot be blank, and I'm going to say that email has to be unique because there is already what do you call it, email that same. And okay, you can see that everything's looks nice, right? Okay, this is for the check the Swagger. You can see for the user and register, we already checked that. And the next one, we're going to create a Schema database. Okay, and in here database is going to be user, and the other one is going to be book, and there's an ID title and description in here. The other one is it's going to be author, and in here you're going to say ID name, author of the book, and I'm going to have an history. We're going to borrow the book and return the book. ID, book ID, also user ID, another date borrow and date returned, and the other one is the description, and the last one is tax librarian. So this is tax for library, ID name, descriptions, and I'm going to say in here is tax librarian detail for this one. So you can say that in here you have a tax librarian, and in here you can say that ID, name, and descriptions, and is finished, is it finished or not. And the last one, maybe we need another one in here. You're going to say that is going to be a tax report, right? In tax report you're going to say that it's same as is tax report, and we're going to see ID and file name and image is just created and updated. Everything needs created and updated, I think. Okay, created, updated, created, updated, created, updated. Okay, just copy in to this. I'm going to check the other one, and already API already is include. We're going to create an app in here, right, for the book one. we're going to change the schema that we create into an actual application in here. I'm going to have a book, and I'm going to copy this and just make sure that author in here and run history in here. Let's copy this one, make sure that all is lowercase, and tax librarian in here going to be lowercase and lowercase, and the tax librarian detail in here is going to be lowercase, lowercase, and lowercase, and the tax report in here is going to be a lowercase, lowercase. Also, another one is init, to make sure that it can be what we call it, yeah, can be detected in the directory. Make sure that it's like to make sure that your directory is been indexed. And also create the migration. Don't forget to copy the init in the migration. Just copy the migration in here. I'm going to copy this one and going to copy to each and every one, every folder that I create. And the other one is going to be, okay, I'm going to create an apps in here. Okay, make sure that every application has an apps. Okay, in here I'm going to just say from Django apps import an app config. This is some kind of checkpoint when the application is being hit. For example, that you hit the author, and the Django will check the apps.py. And I'm going to say translation is going to be get lazy. Okay, to make sure that if you change the what to call it, the language, it's going to change. If it's the default is English, right? But if you want to go with the Japan and others, you have to create your translation in there. Okay, auto, and I don't think I need apps in there. Just make sure that variable's name is going to be a translatable auto, right? And I'm going to say def ready. Okay, I think try import. This is for the signal. No. Okay, just for now we're going to just copy this one, and I'm going to copy for everything. I'm going to say books in here, and books. The other one is run history, going to change to run history, and in here be run history. Going to copy this one and change the variable's name. Okay, and I'm going to copy to the others in tax librarian. Going to change into tax librarian. Okay, and the other one is the variable's name in here. Change the tax librarian with all the uppercase, and the tax librarian, capitalize that. And the last one is just details. You have one in here, the the report, I think. Change it into report, and this is report. Okay, I think everything is fine. I'm going to go to the model in here. I'm going to create an out model, so you can import from the DjangoDB model. And I'm going to put integer and char field, and also depth field in here. Okay, and for the created and updated, you can install that. This what to call it? Yeah, this Django model utils, to make sure that we don't create what we call it, a record for updated and delete, update and created. You just can use this one. Make sure that from the utils you can import the timestamp model, timestamp. Okay, yeah, timestamp model. This is abstraction for created and deleted, and I'm going to say in here from the Django utils, just same for the translation, right? And import get lazy tags, and just alias it as underscore, and I'm going to say author. It's going to be created and updated. Okay, and I'm going to say that here is the name is going to be char field, right? Max length is going to be 2555. This is the max. I'm going to say it's to be the name, right? Switch this one, and I'm going to copy this, copy to the books, and also copy the. Okay, this is so much more record in here. It has title in here. Just copy this, descriptions. I'm going to need text field in here. Just going to say text field. I'm going to say descriptions, right? And the other one is going to be, what do we call it? This one. This models for foreign key, right? The author can and input that, and input the cascade also. This is for the foreign. Each foreign key has to have on delete default. You have to create a cascade, or maybe just null. That's fine. Is up to you, and you need a related name to make sure that the author can access the books. We're going to give it names the book, so you can call it if there is a connection. You can reverse the connections from the author. Okay, and we could see this one, and the other one we're going to create a run history in here. Just say run history, and going to timestamp model, and just copy this one. The user related name is going to be run history. Just user and history, that's fine. Okay, and the other one is going to just yeah, there's a book in here. Same, you're going to say for the book and history books. Okay, and going to say that just copy this one, right? It's not come from the books, it's come from the model for the forange. So be careful when you import it. Sometimes the auto import is not correct, and the date borrow is going to be that field, right? And the return is going to be that field, and the other one is going to be description. It's going to be text field, right? And it's going to be descriptions in here. Just remove the one that you don't need, remove this one, don't need this one. Okay, and going to be okay. I think everything is okay. Going to the text library in here, text library. Going to change in text library for this one. I'm going to say the name, going to change it into the, yeah, we need this one, but not here. I'm going to say many to many for the text library detail, right? And that's all. And I'm going to create the detail one. The detail is going to be default false in here, and the other one is going to be def meta. I think okay, I think it's class, not def. And the DB table is the name of table that will create. The name here is a text librarian detail, and proposed name is text librarian detail, right? And the other one is going to be, what do you call it? Just def str to make sure that it represents the record. I'm going to say that the format is going to be self.name and self.descriptions. And I think I'm going to copy this one and copy to the other one to make sure that every what do you call it? Every model has this one, right? And many in here. Just remove this one. I don't need this bullshit. Okay, and then just copy this and go to the books and copy this one. Make sure everything is similar, or what we call it. Yeah, everything has this one. And title, and just copy this one. I'm going to say this in the author, and I'm going to say the author, the book is, and the verbose is authors, and names, and they just have a name in here. Okay, right, and I think that's all. Okay, just copy this one, just copy this, and change the tax report. Okay, this is for getting tax report. I'm going to say this file name is going to be file name, It's going to be image in here, image field, because one thing you have to notice that the Django doesn't have image field. It has to be import from the other package, but that's after this I will demonstrate it. And you have tax report in here, change this to tax report, and I'm going to say that the name is file name, right? And after this you're going to just copy all application that you add in here, the auto one and the book one, the rent history, right? And the tax librarian and the tax librarian detail, and the other is the tax report, right? Everything is fine. And I'm going to say that package manage make migrations. Okay, say that tax librarian is in every app, so you have to change it because it's double. Okay, tax report, and I think that's all for now. Okay, and I'm going to say after this we're going to check the pillow. This is for the image, what we call it, image field, right? So you have to install the pillow, pip install recursive for requirements. Okay, the one I created is 9.4, and I'm going to migrate for this. See, everything is okay after you install the image, what do you call it, image field, right? And I'm going to say the migrate. Okay, everything is fine. You already migrate this one. Okay, and after this you can just close everything to make sure that you can see correctly. And the user have a library account number. In here you can say that for the default it's going to be UID, but I think I need to import the UID here. Import UID, and just copy this one, put UID 4 or UID 5. You can do whatever you want. Okay, this is for the user. And okay, and we're going to say that app user in here. Okay, this is the to do. So already done, right? Make migration, make API for all, and we can say we done it, and the other one is done. Okay, and we're going to create an API. First is books. I'm going to say this is a books, and just copy this one. Right, copy the name, just rename it and copy to make sure that the name and in Serializer and the view is same. Okay, and rename this, make file in .py, and just copy this, copy it into the top also, and the other one just copy this one and copy the top. Okay, make sure that everything is going to be fine. Just copy this one to make sure that it moves faster than you just have to type one by one, right? Just copy this one. Okay, and I'm going to say that from the REST framework, right? I'm going to create a serializer in here. REST framework, I'm going to say that serializer, you can import the model serializer for this one. I'm going to say that book serializer, it's going to be, just copy this one, and I'm going to say in here, okay, just class going to be meta, and the model is going to be books, right? Okay, okay, we have author in here, right? It's foreign key, right? So to do that, in here we have to create like two representations to make sure that I need the name of the author, right? But I don't want to. This is like additional. So in here I'm going to say that a super for the book serializer self and to representation of instance, right? And I'm going to say data display the name of the author in here, the name display author. So in the result you have additional in here. can say that instance auto if the instance, else is going to be none, just push none in here and return data. And the other one is going to be def, going to say that to internal value. It's going to be self.data, and just copy this one. I'm going to say that the field of the auto is going to be, if you not create this, you'll be asked to put a record in there, and that's doesn't make sense if you go to from the API, right? I'm going to say that primary key for field, and after this, okay, I'm going to say the query set of the here is going to be an auto and object all. Just copy this one, auto.objects all. Okay, so you only need to put a primary key in here, so to make sure that data auto is going to be 4 or 5. It's going to be fine. Okay, return super and copy this one self into the to internal value data, right? Okay. So for now, and just copy this one, right? It already created, and copy this one into the tax library, and copy to, what do you call it? Just copy the rest that you need, and going to change it into tax it here, also into we don't need the exclusions in here. Just copy this, just remove this one. Don't need this one, just change it into tax in here, tax librarian, and just add tax librarian. And do you need to exclude it? Let me see the model in here. Okay, just exclude this because this is many to many, right? And so let me see, then here is report, change the report. Okay, change this one. Okay, I'm going to say that get list all auto. Okay, instance.auto, or if so I want to make what we call it, list of the JSON in here from the instance. So to make sure that I'm going to say auto, it's going to be instance auto if instance auto is count, or else just none, right? Okay, if there is a record in here, I'm going to say for the record, and just record auto is going to be, what do you call it? We're going to append it into the list, and we're going to append it as, what we call it, as, what do you call it? I forgot about it. As JSON. Okay. See, I'm sorry. This is auto, doesn't make sense. Just tax detail in here. So I'm going to change all the auto in here into the tax detail, because it's the name of it. Sorry for my typo earlier. Just copy this one, and I'm going to say that we need serializer for the tax library, I think, because we use tax library. I'm going to change this into the tax library in detail, right? Okay, and I'm just going to change this one, change it and add it from that's, just remove it because we don't need this one. Just make sure that this one, right? And the serializer, we need it for the serializer, and going to be record and also data, to make sure that it can be serialized from the instance, right? And then we need this one, just get all tax detail, right? And if you see the model in here, we also have a report. Okay, I'm just copy this one, right? Tax detail and get all the tax report. Okay, just copy this one. Okay, just change this into tax view. Okay, let's change this one, change it. Okay, sorry, tax report, I'm sorry. So I have to change the name, right? So the name is going to be tax report, and don't be refused. It make people confused. I'm going to say the report and copy this one or this one. Just copy this to the other one. Make sure that gone, and after this you're going to change this one into task report for the model or for the serializer, and just copy this. So make sure that it's going to be serializer, and we're going to copy this and make sure that the return is going to be task serializer, right? Task report serializer. Okay, I think everything is done. Okay, that's quite, what do we call it, quite a lot of work. And we're going to say that in the books on tax library, right? The books, I'm going to copy this from the tax report because it's very minimalist, and I'm going to change this for the run history, right? History, I'm going to say run history. Okay, import from the autocomplete, I'm sorry, and just copy this one into the books. For the serializer, it's going to be changed into, what do we call it, serializer for the book, right? This is for the view in here. I'm going to say that for this is just list create API, so you make sure that one API one API have create and updated. I'm sorry, get the list and also the created one. And I'm going to just copy this one to make sure that you can retrieve, update, and destroy from the one point. And we're going to be look for PK or primary key, and I'm going to copy this one and make sure that everything has the same ability for how do you call it, for the API, for the REST API, right? I'm going to change the book into REST history. Just copy this one. I'm going to say copy this one, also copy this one to make sure that everything has been copied, and I'm going to just change it from the run history to task report. Make sure everything is easy, and just import it from the auto import, and also just change this one to library and import it from the import, and the other one is, what do you call it, this as library, and just copy this one and just copy this, and copy this one. Just make sure that that's Tailwind details, so it's been covered. And just copy this into the URL, set up a URL that everything that we create have to can be accessed by the other apps to the URL. Just copy this one to make sure that API import the book and book update in here. I'm going to say that path, just copy this, and you can say that the book's going to be book list and book list and the name, and also copy this one, just book integer.pk and update, and copy this for the update delete, right, and retrieve. Okay, just copy this. Make sure that you copy for all the application in here, like author, change to author with create, and just copy this. Make sure that author update delete, and in here we're going to be author and author in here, right? And make sure that you import it from here, right, from view.author import. Author, let's create. I think I didn't create this one. Just make sure that create out.py, and copy this and copy this, and just change the books into the out. Author, just copy this one. Just make sure that we don't have serializer either. Make sure that I create the serializer in here for the author.py. Just copy from the tax report library because that's very minimalist for the serializer, and go to author and remove this one. Just get this one. Okay, just get this and this one, this. Okay, and just go to the URL. I'm going to say auto list create, auto list updated. Just copy this one, change this one. Okay, and yeah, remove the, what do you call it, the brutal in detail, right? Because you just need one to write, and yeah, just need one. Or the, if the details is more than is brutal, just give S, and if not, just remove the S in there, right? And I'm going to copy this one into 3. First is going to be, what do you call it, in here. Okay, it's going to be the author, the books, and going to need another one like API dot registry, import the registry, create one registry update. Let's copy this, right? Copy this one and copy this one too. Okay, just change into ren history, right? And just copy this one, and copy for the multiple API dot view and tax library, import the tax library, create and update. Just copy this one and just tax library in here, library, and this the name, change the name and copy from the above. Make sure that everything has the right name and the right view. Okay, change this one, copy this one, and okay, going to say that detail, going to need the detail and detail update delete, and also the report. Going to say that the report is going to be import tax report and tax report update delete. Just copy this one, right? And copy this into tax library and details, right? Just copy this one to tax library and details, right? Just change the name, and it's changing, right? Make sure that everything is smooth and fine and there is no error, and the name should be right. Make sure that we just avoid the confusion for the future. If you want to go to here and update some of the feature, you're going to tax report in here. I think everything is fine, right? I'm going to run this server. It's going to be in 800, and I'm going to check the Swagger. You see how beautiful is it, right? You have the books, you have the books, right, and the post in the books, and the other one is going to be logged in, and also refresh the ren history, right? And also, yeah, the tax, everything is fine. There is a tax library and tax detail and tax report, right? Okay, and you have what they call it. You can just you cannot just show something in here. You have to log in to see for the okay. This video was created for Vue3 and Django, but it changed to Django and Monorepo with Angular, Vue3 and React. I hope there's understanding that I already created a standalone for Vue3 to make sure that this will be aligned, because the logic will be changed, right? Not changed, the logic is same, and I just copied to the Monorepo for the Vue, right? So the first one is going to create a Tailwind in here to make sure that the Vue has the Tailwind one. Just copy this one, right? And we will be waiting in here. Yeah, proceed, see what happens, and I'm going to just select this one and yeah, override this one. Everything looks fine. Okay, yeah, I think everything is done. Just waiting. Okay, still waiting. Okay, that's fine. Okay, and we see the application. You have a YouTube view in here, and there is already Tailwind in here. Everything is already set, right? So we're going to have the terminal in here, make sure that everything is going to be installed, and we're going to run the first of the Vue3 to make sure that everything works and everything works fine, and we can go move on with the logic and the detail and others. Okay, you can see that I can access the Tailwind, right? It's cool. Okay, and also we need to install another like Vue Suite Alert, right? This is for pop-ups. I'm going to save this and install it in here. Okay, and everything is going to be great to this, and add a Vue. Okay, installing, and I'm going to import this one. Just make sure that it uses Vue Suite Alert 2, right? In the apps, just copy this one, right? And the other one is going to be, okay, I'm going to check whether it's break or not. If it's break, means that it's not compatible, you'd have to remove the npm from the using any create app and just remove from your app. Yeah. And I'm going to install a flow byte in here, right? Flow byte, just copy this content and put it in here, right? To make sure that the flow byte is running well. And okay, after this is plugin, you're going to say that plugin is going to be required flow byte. Just remove the old plugin. Okay, make sure that everything works fine. Right, okay, and I'm going to have a validate Zod. If you know, the Zod is some kind of what we call it, helper to make sure that your interface is more likable than that. And I'm going to install this one, right? Validate Zod. Okay, just install this one. Validate Zod. Okay, just on it and copy this one. Everything is cool. Not a problem, anything, it's fine. Okay, yeah, I think it's fine. I'm just reading some. Yeah, this is the Zod, right? This is just for make sure that the interface is not, we call it, not very painful, right? You can use Zod in here. Okay, and I'm going to install the Vue router in here. Vue router, just copy this for version 4. Right, copy this one. I'm going to add Vue router 4, right? Okay, and also add in here Vue validate. Yeah. Okay, validate version 4. You can see that Vue validate version 4 is already applicable in Vue3. And also don't forget to install Pinia as a state management in here to get rid of this Vuex. Just copy this one to make sure that it can be used. I'm going to main.ts, the TypeScript, and just copy this one and paste this, and make sure that just copy this one. Okay, so the create apps, it's better if we just use the Pinia way to make sure that it can be chunk, right? And app in here, I'm going to say that app.Pinia, app.Pinia, use.Pinia in here. Right, everything is fine. Okay, and after this, just get Pinia, work this one. Okay, I think it's cool, and I'm going to create a new file. It's the router.ts, right? In here, I'm going to also create a folder here, forms, and we're going to say that in here we're going to create what we call it page, and also utility for here, and also service, right? Everything you need to know, right? And also the other one is going to be table data, because we have we will make a lot of table in here, right? And after this, we're going to see that yeah, everything dependency also been saved and it's running. I think that's fine. Okay, the next one is going to be, what do you call it, just set view auto-tree, right? To this, I'm going to create a view router in here and make sure that after this I'm going to what do you call it, just take care of the stores. And in here I'm going to have a router row, and I'm going to say create group history and create router. And in here I'm going to const the router, right? And array is going to be what do you call it, record row router. Why there is no autocomplete in here? Okay, and I'm going to have a path in here. It's going to be here path, and I'm going to have an alias in here. It's going to be an alias in here, homes, and name is going to be home, and a component is going to be component import from the page, right? Page, I don't think we have anything in here, so I'm going to create a home in here, home view, home page, I'm sorry. I'm going to have a template in here and just make as minimum as it can. The language is going to be TypeScript and also going to be exported default. The name is going to be home, and the data, return data, yeah, this is just div id home, going to be home. Okay, can you say okay, page.home page.view. Okay, it seems works. I'm going to copy this one and make sure that everything is going to be taken off, and I'm going to have layout in here just in case, and I'm going to be say login, I'm going to be login, and also login in here. Just add another one, just copy this, and going to have login page, and copy this one. Let's change this one, just copy another one. It's going to have a register in here. Let's copy register, okay, and copy another one, just change it into books page, going to be books, and copy another one. It's going to have auto page, just say auto page in here, copy another one, have a history page, and another one is going to be, what do you call it, yeah, tax page, and okay, tax detail page. So another one is going to be tax report, right? Yeah, just change this according to everything. I'm going to have the login page view, and register is going to be register, going to be register page, right? Just copy this, make as much as you can, and going to be auto, change the auto, and change the to auto page. And another one is going to be books, change this to the books. And another one is going to be rent history. Let's copy this to rent history and change this into rent history page. And another one is going to be tax, going to copy this one to tax page, right? And just copy this. We have another one, it's going to be tax detail page, tax detail, and tax detail in here, tax detail, okay. With the ID, because you cannot access it every doesn't have the ID of the tax. I'm going to be report also have an ID in here, okay. And just tax report page, okay, and everything seems fine. And the required login for here, make sure that this is for the auto guard. Just copy this one and copy to the other one, to the, yeah, all of the, what do you call it, the rest of the router that needs to be guarded, except for the login and the register. Don't use that in there. People cannot be logged in if they're auto guard in here. So going to change this into routes to make sure that this is AS6, so I don't have to create what do you call it, yeah, just for simplicity. And I'm going to say the router, and this is for checking every router if match some of the requirement node record have the record dot meta, and also have the required login here. Let's copy this one, right? I'm going to change this into just next is going to be login, right? Will be redirect to login, else it's just empty. Okay, and I'm going to create a store in here, right? We're going to have a store. Just copy this using a root store in here, and I'm going to change this one into authenticate, right? Authenticate false, and just say that token is going to be empty, and just remove this one. I don't think we need this one. And what we have, just, yeah, we don't need this one. Just remove this. Get header, this is for get header. If the is authenticate, just copy get header, and the get header is going to be written here, right? So this is for header if you want to log in, or you can put it in intercept, it's just same, right? And I'm going to say if the, what do you call it, use root. Okay, I don't think I import this in this. Just wait a minute. I'm just copying here, and it's cons going to be root, use root, right? Going to be hash root is, what do you call it, it's authenticate, and I'm going to change this into login, and I'm going to give in app is a root is going to be have a root store in here. I'm going to say that if it's authenticate, if the root, sorry, not in here, right? Just as router in here, but the router is not here. Going to import router from dot router. Okay, it's okay, it's okay, right? It's fine. And I'm going to say use root in here, and after that I'm going to say router is going to be use root router, and if okay, if the root is authenticate, I'm sorry, what happened to the, what do you call it, to the autocomplete? I have to manually put this store.root, right? And just language going to be TypeScript. Okay, just copy this, right? Just remove this one, and yeah, this works again. And just, okay, remove this one. Okay, that's good. Say is authenticate is going to be false, right? I'm going to router.push, go into the home, right? Name is going to be login, else router is going to be home. Okay, that's cool. And in here we're going to check, okay, there's some problem in here, it should be inside, right? Okay, I think that's good. Check. Oh, okay, the name should be dash home, so we have to change all the alias in here: login, register, author, books, and history, tax detail, tax report. And I'm going, okay, this works fine, right? The application is fine. Okay, I'm going to remove this one. This is the default. We don't need this anymore. So I'm going to just remove this, don't need it. Remove this one, just give the router view. In here, I'm going to say div ID. It's going to be app, and I'm going to say the router view and the router view. Okay, after this, are we going to install the Axios, right? Okay, going to install it, and I'm going to say yarn add Axios and a few Axios. Okay, after we install it, we just copy this one. Yeah, I'm going to make this minimal, right? Okay, it's done. And then I'm going to go to the main task and just copy this, make sure that our user can, our application can use few Axios in here. Okay, don't forget to import this one. Okay, forget to import this one. Okay, after this, I'm going to create some kind of what we call it flow, right, in here. So the API in Django, and also the front end is going to be Vue, right? I'm going to say in here we're going to have state management, right? Here is Pinia. Okay, I'm going to have this one, and I'm going to center this one. So this is the Axios, right? So we're going to say after this Axios, we'll call the API, and I'm going to get a book list, and going to say, okay, here's your book list, right? Send book list. Okay, response. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to send this into state management. It's going to send to state management. Okay, so this is what's going on in the Axios, right? Now after this, okay, Axios, I'm going to say this is the Axios. Okay, this is the books, for example, right? State management, the name is books, and it will have another, right, view in here, view books list, right? And I'm going to say that in here it's going to get list. Okay, and it's going to say X for list book. Okay, right, books. Okay, this is the what we call it, the general flow for this particular applications. And I'm going to have another one in here, so the book is going to be here, and I'm going to say this is the from books, right? Edit or add, and I'm going to say in here it's going to be from books, and the from book is going to have I add a book in here, and also I'm going to say in here Axios, just the Axios in here, and the Axios is going to have same as French, right? And in here I'm going to say add the books. Okay, and in here you can say that send the books, send your books, and in here is going to get the books, get new books, response new books. Okay, I'm going to have the Axios. I add a book, and in here the Axios is going to have the state management, add the new books, right? And in the new books you're going to have here, and you're going to say send new book, new list, right? Okay, this is the basic way, right? And in here I'm going to have in Vue development for this one, I'm going to have a file base URL in here, and I'm going to say localhost 8000 because that's the default, right? Okay, and I'm going to set that up as set base URL in here. Okay, I'm going to say update host based on here. I'm going to say let host is going to be import from the meta env dot fight base URL, right? And update host and set the host in here. Going to say that in here you can function update host, and the host is going to be any, can be string or any, and I'm going to say this host is going to be host.value. I'm sorry, not this host. Host.value is going to be host, right? Okay, just copy this one, copy that. Okay, I'm going to copy this and make sure that it can be outside, can be used, right? Okay, update host. Okay, I think that's fine. Okay, I'm going to have another one in here, user.typescript. Just copy this one and going to change into the user data. It's going to be changing this, remove this one, update user data, and you're going to be user. Let's copy this one, user.value is going to be user, okay, and user data, and here just copy this, update user, okay. And another one is books. I'm going to have a books in here, TypeScript. I'm going to say books, okay. Let's copy this user, okay, and copy this, change it into user store, change it into bookstore. Make sure that it's not ambiguous in here. Book data is going to change to update books, okay, and change the name into French, and it's going to be URL, right? Some of the one await Axios. It's going to get user store in here for the root. I'm going to be the root host in here, and also have the URL for this one. Don't forget to be axing. Okay, root.get header. Let me think about it fast. Okay, URL is going to be books in here. Okay, let URL is going to be books. Okay, just change this into interface, add interface in here from login, right? Username is going to be string, and the password is going to be string also. And the other one is going to copy this one and just like this. Yeah, I'm going to say token value is same as token, but I think I need an interface in here. I type response for the type, and I'm going to have this token is going to be string, and refresh token is going to be string. Let's copy this and just add this side, change that login in here, and add what we call it. Yeah, thing is it doesn't work right. Just forgot that. And add token in here. Okay, and the other one is just catch error. Just remove this one and make catch error in here. So I'm going to have a switch outlet in here. Switch outlet for fire. I think the name is fire. .fire, and change field into error. Okay, and the router is going to be push, going to name is going to be login. Okay, and the code is use router in here. Okay, just remove that one. And for the error, I'm going to create what we call it. Okay, just remove this one. Okay. I don't think this is the good one. Okay, data value is going to be a response.data and result in here. Okay, and also in the store, I'm going to have utility for the error to make sure that it can be used by anyone in here. If something is going to be wrong, I'm going to say error is going to be any, and I'm going to have export in here, and just copy this one, remove this one to here, and I'm going to say remove switch outlet in here, right? This one. Okay, error in here. Okay, everything is cool, and I'm going to say everything is cool, right? Cons dot book count. I'm going to have a 0 in here, and also just book in here. It's going to be value. I'm sorry, book count is going to be value. It's going to be response data.count, or maybe just count from the result is just same. This is just what we call it, a framework for that, and we're going to check the literal application after this side, and I'm going to have an active ID in here, going to be 0, and just active ID is going to be active ID, and book count get out from there, and I'm going to have this asynchronous, right? Constant fetch using function, and I say constants of change. Active ID is going to be ID, and the function in here, ID is going to be number. So we really need this. Let me think about it first. Okay, just active ID the value. It's going to be ID. Okay. What else we have? Okay, get book ID for every detail in here, and it's something else in here. Yeah, change set active ID, right? It's going to be active ID value, going to be 0 in here. Okay, just push this in the while so everybody can use it. Something like that. And update book in here, we need update books, and also delete books, right? Okay, update and delete, right? and the other one is going to be what is it? URL is going to be books in here. Okay, I'm going to have an active value ID and update. This is for URL for ID, and just copy this one, copy this one. I'm going to say that rename. Just remove what do you call it? Let's update the list, right? If the list is updated, it's going to be changed, right? String. And also we need the data, right? I'm going to have a mode in here. If the add, edit, and delete, make sure that it's going to update the state for the list, right? And else if mode is add, no, add should be the first, and also else if mode is delete first. And then we just set a utility in here. Okay, make sure that everything work fine, like get list record, right? We're going to say const for get list record asynchronous URL string, right? And we're going to have in here async let items going to be any, and let message is going to be let loader is going to be false. And return. Okay, after this I'm going to create what do you call it, get list record right here, and I'm going to say host going to be URL, and it's pretty standard, right? Make sure that record is going to be in one place and everything will be called to record. I'm going to have item response is going to be data result, and message is going to be record as much as response data.count, and loaded is going to be false. I'm sorry, loaded is going to be true. Oh, after this, right? Is after it's going to be after it's taking data is going to be true, and the error is going to be adding from the error suite alert. I'm sorry, and I'm going to have a result in here. Get this result. So I'm not going to have this one. Don't need this one, right? The XCS one, but just put it there in just in case. Okay, and the other one is going to be get detail for record, get post record, right? And copy this one, and copy this one in here, and just make sure that everything is covered. Okay, and it's going to be get detail. Okay, and I'm going to return this one, right? Okay, and after that need to copy this, and the service get detail, just import this get detail code, get import, just go remove this one, return the items and the loaded. Okay, post record, just change the name into post and change the add data. Just wait a minute, move the message, and it's going to be post, and I'm going to include the data in here, right? And just return items and load it. Okay, and the next one is going to be books in here. Just remove this one, don't need that. I'm going to say items and the message, and the loaded is going to have in get list code, right? But URL, just copy this one, remove this one, we don't need that. And in here, so maybe we have to say the weight in here. Okay, just wait a minute. Length in here. Let's remove this and result. Okay, and book data value is going to be result.items, right? And in here we just copy this one and put it above. And okay, you say this void, so don't forget to have promise any no, just make sure that it will return something, so it don't what we call it, count as void. Okay, for this one, book counts value is going to be result, right? Book message going to be empty, it's going to be null in here. Result.message, and book loaded is going to be false in here, so I'm going to count value in here result.loaded. Okay, I'm going to add a delete in here, delete record, right? And copy, just name it copy record, right? And the other one is put record.typescript. Okay, let's copy this one, move this, and it will return any promise. Okay, this also will return any, and just change it into promise, right? And in here we can set delete utils and change in here heading URLs, string ID, and also number in here. Okay, it's going to be what we call it, Sphere. It's going to have so our title is going to be are you sure, and the other one is text, it's going to be you won't be able to recover. And just copy this one, remove this one, just fast forward this and remove this. Going to be also a file detail success, right? You have delete items, ID, and also success, right? Just remove this one, just host, and just change this one. Okay, just import console download, and console is going to be use root store, remove this one, right? Everything is going to be okay. And going to check the other one, just copy this, right? Change it to put, and put in here. Okay, in the book we can say post code, and URL is going to be data, and in here we're going to say data. Just copy this, data any, and const add book is going to be add data any. Okay, add book. I'm going to change to the book message and book loaded, right? And add book in here. Okay, and get book ID, get book list. Just const get book list. Sorry, but book list is going to be what do you call it? Here. Const book load API. So if it's loaded the first time, you can just change this, right? Okay, and we're going to have URL for book site. Okay, and the other one is going to be copy this one and going to say this is the pause for my code and change into uppercase. I think pause change to uppercase, book change to uppercase, and the delete is change to uppercase. Delete the code, not delete item, delete the code, and in here, okay, everything is already in uppercase. And in the book, we're going to say form. This is for type, right? Just forms in here and adding books with TypeScript. I'm going to say import zone, right, from the zone. And you can say in here, you can say what do you call it, const form login. Okay, I'm sorry, from books z object, and we're going to say that let's test this one. Okay, going to say the title is going to be z.string, and also the descriptions string also, and also the author is going to be string also. Export type from book is going to be z infer the type of form.books. Okay, I think it's fine, right? Let's put it in here, and in here book loaded. If the book API value is same as false, I'm going to fetch the data, right? And else I'm going to return book value. Okay, and in here you're going to say in here, just copy this one, right? And utility for this, what do you call it, the function only. Okay, get index in here. So we have to get index in list site, the index that we want. We can update it or delete it according to what we want. And in here we're going to say append data to book list if we add it, and just change data in the book list, right? And remove data. And the other one is numbers, right? Okay, and the other one is remove data in book. Just copy this, right? And const index is going to be list, right? ID. Just copy this one. Okay, and after done, just reset the active ID. Okay, copy this one, and in here we can say that what we call it, result active ID. Okay, just copy this and update this side from books. Okay, and we can call this one is console result, right? Going to be utility code, URL, and ID. Okay, and activated value, and update list going to be delete with active ID. Just remove this one. Active-id.value, right? Active-id.value. Maybe we don't need this one, right? Just don't pass it to here, but in here just remove this. You can say ID is active-id.value, and you can say that no, right? Update the code. Just copy this one, this one, this one, put a code. Okay, this update result is going to be in here. Okay, going to say that going to result items. Okay, async and await. Okay, yeah, I think this works. And async and await in here. Just copy this, and you're going to have update in here. From book and add. Okay, books data value append, right? Data. Okay, something is not on. Okay, you cannot add any in here. Cannot add no. Okay, it flag as never. Just add any in here, right? Yeah, that's fine. User data is going to be value, and supplies we're going to remove if the index. Okay, index is going to be 1. Index is going to be return of the best of the user data. No. This is book, not user. I'm sorry. Book data is going to be data, and find index is going to be dot ID, where the ID is same as activation value, or just let ID, right? Yeah, just remove this one. This is the get list ID, right? ID number, we don't need this one. You can say that the P is types, can create a books for the type for interface. Okay, in here we can say that we name form books, right? Just add a prefix, and I don't think we need a folder for form again. Just delete this one, and in here just copy this, paste into here, and you can say that this is book, right? Just copy this and pass it here, and you can say this is books, and just delete this one, and you can say books, that from books, right? Sorry, books. Okay, because it's singular, I'm just calling books in there. And change data any into books. Okay, oh wait a minute, doesn't have ID. Oh, I'm sorry, just forget it. And here from books, right? From books, and in here I can say z.number. Okay, integer, there's no integer, intersection, no integer, no, nothing. Okay, just number. Okay, just copy this one, just copy this and add form book in here, right? And remove the post detail. Copy this for form, right? This is for form, and yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, this is the flow. Okay, and we're going to change the book data. It's going to be value, it's going to be index, and title is going to be form book. It's going to be data title, and the book is just copy this. Going to be author is changed to be author, and in here I'm going to change the description, change to descriptions. Okay, I think that's all. Okay, in here we're going to export form book check, and I'm going to say titles, descriptions. This is for what they call it. You declare a item and it's empty. Yeah, this is for declaration, right? Form book index, right? And just copy this one. Form books pass form index. Okay, and we're going to have this one. Just select this one, add this one. Yeah, I think that's cool. And I'm just searching for something in here that doesn't, what they call it, doesn't make sense, and just try to fix it. I think everything is okay. From login, it's going to be type diver, cross logins, z.object, going to be username, z.string, and password is z.string also, right? Okay, copy this one. And change this one, set info. Okay. Let's copy this one, right? And add import from login from where's the type? Okay. And also add the logout, right? In here, don't forget to add logout. And copy this one, just copy this, logout, and copy this. Wait, okay. This is the response for this. Token value is going to be null, and also this Axios default is going to be null. Okay, and just push it to the login. Okay, and let me check for the other one. It's going to be, what do you call it? Copy this one, add it in the root, and just log in it. Okay, log in. Okay, let's copy this. Yeah, for a minute, change for a minute, I'm logging in it, change it, yeah. Okay, that's cool. I think that's all. We can test this after we create a login. And okay, we're going to add a created and updated in here. So we forgot to add updated and created, and we're going to have several things like sent by who, approved by who. Let's copy this and just copy bottom in here, and approved by, also created by. Okay, just copy this one, right? So copy this one, created by, and status. Okay, let's copy this and adding in here, add in here, created by, status by. Okay, going to check this one, approve. And I'm going to add the status in here. Right, and I add status type pending, right? And the other one, just created by. Okay, auto, and also user in here, adding to delete cascade. Just remove this one, right? And we're going to change this. Okay, adding proof by. Let's copy this one, adding into print detail. Just copy this, right? And just added the foreign key and also the user, and we're going to have the other one, check it right there and copy the status in here. Status is going to be copied to the report as well, right? And the status is going to be same, foreign is going to be same, and cascade is going to be same, and also add the user in here. Okay, and we're going to copy this one, so get model, and in the model we're going to change this to get user model to make sure it's more secure, and it's default for Django. Okay, I'm going to make migrations. Okay, there are several things, the name, especially the name, and if you see in here, right? Okay, the name, we're going to change the name into what we call it, approved by, and here also approved by books, and copy this, also add another one, change into create by, right? I see. Okay, and I see. Okay, this is the problem is, what do you call it? We have to add others in tax library as detail, and just copy this into created by as detail, right? And the other one, edit this one, and just put this into report by report, and created by tax report, right? Okay, and the other one is going to migrate. Okay, detail many to many. I'm going to say yes for this one. Wait a minute. System. Oh, I see. Yes, because the beginning is auto, and I think there is something that's missing in here. We're going to have everything. Okay, thumbnail image, right? Okay, we're going to have an image in here, status report, right? Okay, thumbnail image, and in the enum copy, I'm going to have a status in here. For rent status, going to be not rent and rent. Okay, and rent. This one, remove this one, right? And we're going to add this and just copy this, and we're going to have rent status in here. Make sure that everything is working fine. And status, and the other one is going to have a model in here, and thumbnail image field. It's going to be image field. It's going to have upload to books site, and new value is true, is blank is true. Okay. Okay, it's going to be status in here. Okay, it's going to be, what do you call it? From apps, I'm sorry, that's a different path. That's why there is no autocomplete in there. I'm just forgot to put it. Okay, not found and not rent. Okay, and we're going to migrate. Okay, leading slash doesn't need leading slash. Okay, and migrate. You can see migrate. That's cool. Okay, it's fine. Okay. Okay, this one I'm going to have what they call it, change log to make sure that everything is recorded right. These things, everything from the user history, tax library, and tax report is going to have what they call it, options in here, and everything will come to here, right? So the books come to here, tax library come to here, and tax detail come to here, and tax report come to here. And in here I'm going to have options. Maybe I change the one into sections, right? Option is going to be create, update, and delete. Okay, this one, and create it. Okay, created add and created by. Okay, and in here I'm going to add change log, right? And in it, and I'm going to copy everything in here, including apps. And I'm going to say change log in here. Okay. Copy this. I'm sorry. Okay. Created by. Just remove this one. Description, we don't need that. And copy another function in here, like meta. Just copy in run history too. In run history, forgot to make this one and history. Right. Just copy this, add it to other one, like change log in here. Right, and we're going to add another in here. So I'm going to say object create. If the user is updating, it's going to be in history. Created is going to be time zone, right? We're going to have options is updates. Create a post delete in here. Log if delete, it's going to have log update also, and change it to delete, right? This is happening in history, right? Just copy this one and add it into other, like we don't need signal in change log, right? And but the others, we can have a signals in here, and copy this one, change into text librarian. Make sure it's just name is same. Just copy this one, change this one, and just signal here's copy to signals, and adding in here, just copy this one. Header in app is going to be signal in here. Change the name, I'll change log, but run history, apps. Okay, and just copy this one. Make sure that everything is same. I just copy pass. Make sure that everything is same as the books, but don't compare it to changelog. Because changelog is different. And we're going to see this one, change it into details, and others. Copy this one, change this one. Make sure that you don't typo. Just copy this, right? Show the same name as the folder. You just comment the rename the folder and replace the other one, right? And just remove this one, try, right? Okay, and it's going to be author, signal, change log, and copy this one into return. Super, because it doesn't need anything in here. It doesn't run signal or anything. Okay, and in the book, we just change into the book, and it's here book. Just remove this one, change it to book, right? Okay, I think everything is fine. Just change into author and change author. Okay, it's fine. Author. Just change this one. Okay, what else that I left behind in here? Text librarian details. Remove this one. Just copy this one. Copy this. Add. I just copy this and export. Add this one, right? Export. Okay, and I'm going to add changelog for the API, right? I'm going to have a changelog here. Let's copy this changelog, and I'm going to say changelog, right? Just remove this one, right? Copy this one. There is no update and delete that for changelogs. Should be like that, but that's fine. That's the other topic, and I'm going to changelog serializer. Just copy this one, right? Remove this one, and remove this one. We don't need this, and we don't need this one, and just change it into changelog and import it. Okay. And we're going to have adding serializer in here, right? For the changelog, sorry, new folder in here for filters, right? We need filters in here. So changelog is going to be changelog by. Copy the filters. I'm going to changelog filters, and in the changelog filters, okay. In the changelog, model. Okay, in the model, we're going to have. Let me think. Just jumping from file to file again. It's getting me confused what I'm going to do next. Okay. And just copy this one and put it in enum, make new file, is changelog, right? And just copy this one, and section type is going to be books. Just copy books, and the other one is going to be author, and copy this one. Add others like history. So copy this one, just don't forget to add the others. Copy this one. There's a lot in here, and adding tags, right? Text library, and text library detail, text library detail, right? Support, okay. Let's copy this one, add this one, just change into activity type. Going to have update and delete. Change this into delete. And the other one is copy this one, and add in here, right? For activity, and also others in here, others, right? Others. Add this one to update, and just add others in here. If there is if it's default by others, means that it not comes from our source, right? Okay, just copy this one, or just special case, we don't know. And in here you're going to copy this one, this one, and just copy this, and this one, right? Just activity type. activity type, just copy this one and active, right? Just copy this. Done. The other one is we're going to make migration in here, and you can see that. Okay, choice. So there's a problem in choice, and as you can see, we're going to have this one. Check in. Change into sections and create it. Still choice is the problem. Okay, in here, I'm going to say that don't forget to add a Django filter in here. So split and copy the filter one. Okay, and add it into setting. Django filters. Okay. And the other one is executed. Located. And Python make migrations. Still have choice. So this is the problem, right? So the child fields should become from the model, not from the what we call it. Yeah, from the form. And we have this one. Just copy this one. And okay, so origin in here. Okay, this is Monorepo and X Monorepo. It's created by Google. It's enable you to make several project in one repo like Angular, React, and Vue. I'm going to make a base with Angular in here. So the name will be Angular Tailwind, and okay, we're going to choose Angular app in here. And after that, I'm going to use SAS and others. And after this, okay, wait. For the first time, I will change this one, others, but I will rewind this. The name should be maybe I change it to YouTube Monorepo because it's not the only the app is not only Angular but also the others. So I'm going to install it and create it again, and we're going to wait here just a minute. Yeah, we're going to wait until it's done. Still waiting. Yeah, it takes some time to regenerate this one. And okay, setting up Nextcloud, and we're going to see, yeah, it's created. Okay, all is okay, and then we're going to here we're going to call it go to the Monorepo, and I'm going to open it with VS Code. Wait a minute, let's see. I'm going to install the Vue3 first. Okay, so this is how you install it. I'm going to copy this one and copy in here, and we're going to give it name Vue3 for this one. Okay, this is an error. We need to install the, let me see here. Okay, we need to install the NX Vue3 first. Okay, after this, you can see it's still installing, and you can see the other option in here. Okay. Okay, start installing, and we're going to see. Okay, that's fine. It's okay, and then we're going to see if we're going to install this one. Everything is okay. Still installing. As you can see, yeah. By the way, we have, because we have what we call it, the base is Angular and the other one is Vue. We have to run this separately because you cannot combine them into one app, but you can run them separately, but it's in one app. Yeah, that's the function of Monorepo in there. So you can create what we call it, a library like Angular and Vue3 and also others, and they share the same library. Vue3 share the Vue3 library, Angular share the Angular library, and what they call it, the React is sharing the React library. So you have a, if it has the same like example for the out, you can say that it will you make the one library for out, and it will share in other application that has same like React, maybe React have a React out and others, some kind of that. Okay, it seems that it's fine. Okay, now we're going to create a React in here. So the React is fail. Let's see what happened. Let's say that, okay, maybe I'm just need to install it same as Vue3. Let's try this one. Okay, we're going to just copy this one and React, and we're going to npm install. Okay, I'm trying Tailwind one, still fail, but let's try to install the Tailwind one for the setup. Save dev in here. Let's see whether it's what do you call it? Okay, say that it's not found, right? So maybe we can use the one like Vue3. Just say that npm in here for installing the React part, and we're going to have save development in here. Let's see. Okay, it's running, and we're going to wait for a second in here. Okay, seems that it's fine, right? We just install the package first, and we're going to run the package for creating a project in here. So I'm going to create a project app React. This is to separate the React, Angular, and Vue. I'm going to use maybe the .sas in here. Okay, then we're going to use Vite. We don't use Webpack anymore. It's just more complicated than Vite. And wait up for a minute. If you want to install another like Svelte and other like, maybe you have something like Next and also like Nux, the library from Vue can be shared with Nux, and the library from the what do you call it, from the React can be shared in Next.js or Remix in there. Okay, now I'm going to open the Visual Studio in here. Wait a minute, and we have this one, right? Look at the structure. I have Vue, we have React in here, and the search is the Angular one. Look at this. You can see that there is an Angular component in here, and the React one is having a React component there. Okay, Now we're going to test this out, and we're going to change a few of the, what we call it. If you can see this as has a structure different than you generate the view, because it, what do you call it, already compact with the NX. Just, but it's just the same. If you used before, you can understand that. And we're going to just run Vue3 for this one. Okay, and I'm going to open new, and I'm going to serve the React one in here. I'm going to set the React one. Okay, and the other, the what do you call it, the default one, you just need to run it the same as the name of your component. Just you can see the name in the package JSON. Just run this one and serve, and we're going to YouTube Monorepo for the Tailwind NX, and we're going to see this one. You just need to wait, and we're going to check this one. Okay, it's running in the 3000 for Vue. I'm going to open this in 2000s. Okay. Okay, wait, you can see this is the Vue one, and I'm going to see that the other one is in the 420. This is support for Angular, but it takes by the React. That's fine. And we're going to see the React one. Okay, and we're going to see the other one in here. Going to see, okay, so I didn't use, so I'm going to change this one. Just wait, let the NX, what do you call it, you can set the port in the package JSON. There is what do you call it, all the user, all the application, and you can set specific port. But if you are lazy like me, you just can make the NX decide which port that he will use. Okay. As you can see, there is the config for every project, so you have to, if you want to install Tailwind and others, you have to go to specific project for installing. If you go to default, it will just install in your default, I mean the Angular one, right? See, this is the Angular, but to make sure that we have to create, we have to change the welcome one to make sure that it is the Angular one. From that, we're going to search, and I'm going to search in app component. Let me see app component. Oh no, it just say that, okay, in May, okay, this is standalone component. I'm going to search in here, so I'm going to just, where is it, welcome. I'm going to search for welcome one. Okay, welcome. Okay, in here I'm going to remove this YouTube NX just for the Angular. Okay, as you can see, yeah, it's changed into Angular. As for React, I'm going to change it in the React search in here, and I'm going to app, and I'm going to search in NX welcome to, and I'm going to search for React. There's too many React in there. I'm going to change this. Okay, that's a bad idea. Welcome. See in here, welcome. Right? So I'm going to search title. No, it's auto-generated. It should be in the app. But I don't want to change the value in there. I'm just changing in here. Maybe I'm going to say all. See, there's all, but I want to change the welcome React. Maybe before this one, I'm going to say enjoyer. So you're going to say welcome to React enjoyer. Okay, this is the good part. And the last one, we're going to change the view, right? The view we're going to see in the Vue3. I'm going to search, and I'm going to say the app is component, and okay, homepage. This is the one, but it seems that using translation in here, so the project is rendered in other. Okay, I'm going to say this is the view, and after this is the view, right? I'm going to change like welcome all Vue enjoyer. Okay, that's all for now. Yeah, we'll meet you in the next video. Thank you. Okay, this is for Vue3. I'm going to install Vue3 in here, install Vue3, save dev, and the other one is going to have an Excel as Vue3, right, to make sure that everything works fine. And just copy this one and add it into Vue3, add it in to main. I will copy the other how they split this one. I'm going to add Vue3 to TS and copy this one, and also copy the rest of this. I'm going to add export in here, right? And in the main, I'm going to use this one, just use Vue3. I'm going to auto import in there, just see whether it's running fine. If it's error, just throw the, what do you call it, uninstall the package and don't use that. Means that something is different from the maybe the version and others. Okay, and another one is I'm going to have a V button for this. See, it's working. And I'm going to install Pinia. So Pinia save dev, right? Pinia is fine. Okay, and we're going to have a Pinia get started. I'm going to see this one because I forgot this. Okay, they already create a store, but the store is not used for state management, so it's just for the, yeah, just for a simple logic, not for the complex application in here. Okay, just copy this and want this to be a root. Just remove this one, change into false, going to authentication, but this is just for, yeah, just for temporary, because we already created one in there before in standalone view, and we're going to migrate it here, but that will be in the future. And yeah, we can fix this. Okay, okay, that's fine, I think. And don't forget, it's not counter anymore, so, right? And we're going to install this one for Material UI for the React, and we're going to copy this Tailwind. I'm going to run the Tailwind Linux in here. Okay, we already create this one, but we need to change this, I think. Yeah, just copy this. And put it in here. I'm sorry, I'm just overwhelmed. Maybe I'm just less stuck in here, but you know what happened, and I will explain if it's not it's complex. If not too complex, I will maybe I'll explain it, or maybe I forgot. Okay, I'm going to install this one, right? Introduction, start a Vue query, just start a Vue query, save dev. Okay, just copy this one and put it in the apps, because it say that put it in the root component, and the root component in here is just app.view. Right, I'm going to put this maybe in the bottom. scrape. Okay, I think something is going on here. Happen. Oh, I see. So the problem is the, what do you call it? The priority, right? Should be skipped before the style. And I'm going to list Tailwind in here. Okay, Tailwind has already been installed. Yeah, we cannot do this because it will generate another package, and that's not what we want, right? And in here, maybe I'm going to, we call it, install here. Check this one, is there available? Okay, still using init. I don't like that one. And I'm going to check this one. Actually, is for the package. Okay, and add this one, maybe. Just install this, right? And npm install. It's going to be all of this one, right? And I'm going to have Angular, but it's kind of different. You can say that npm install Angular material first, right? So then I'm going to add maybe purple. Purple is good color, right? So installing this one, right? This is installing, what do you call it? Yeah, in the base component. As you can see, the Tailwind in the NX is different. You have to separate this one from the config and post.css. The reason why I want to use Tailwind because really sick if the Vue in here using post.css kinda give me a headache. Maybe better using Tailwind. And as you can see, Tailwind spread for every project in here, right? So what we need to do is we're going to go to copy this one, right, and add it into, copy this one, right? And is there something else? I'm going to this one. Okay, so you need to install config in here. Just copy. Yeah, let's copy this one. Yeah, this is, put it in the project. Oh, sorry. Copy this one. Copy this. Put it in the post.css hub. I'm going to check this one. Is that available? I don't think it's available in here. Check using Stripe. Okay, that's not available. So just use install this. That's not found. Yeah, I think I skipped that. Okay, and in automated setup, I'm going to run this one. We don't need that. We already used that. Okay. Copy one. And just copy this one, change this, right? Let's config and change this one. And copy the, what do you call it? The Tailwind, and we're going to check whether it's running or not. Okay, I'm going to say that it's come from the asset at JSS and our JSS. It doesn't work. So we have to do another else. But what we're going to do is copy that one, just run this one. Okay. Okay, and we're going to have this one, right? Just copy this. And I'm going to change the path, right? Output, and we're going to run this one. Okay, we're going to change the port to make sure it doesn't choose a random port. If it's, yeah, everything has its own port. That's more ideal. Okay, still it's 400 to 4200. I don't think that's the good one. Okay, I'm sorry, this is for the full, and in here I'm going to copy this one. False is going to be 201, and I'm going to gut up to 201. That's cool. And I'm going to check whether the Tailwind is installed. I'm going to copy this one, searching for the welcome, right, and copy this. So okay, going to change this one to check whether the React Tailwind is working. Hey, I see, that's work. That's cool. And we will meet you in the next video.